Let's talk about how to optimize our training. So, back in my 20s, even teens, I had hours to spend in the gym and I enjoyed it. And I would do like hours of cardio and I would do hours in the weight room and I would do a body part split and I would do my biceps on a separate day than my triceps and a separate day than my back and my chest and legs. So, that was fun for me at the time. Now I know it was not efficient or effective, and it ultimately didn't end up paying off. So let's talk about how we, as adults who have jobs, who have other interests, who have kids, um, optimize our training so we fit it all in and we still get the health benefits and we still get the performance benefits and we still get the longevity benefits and the joint health. How do we get all of that out of a single day? That's a lot to ask. Like, we are now a lot more discerning. We want to have the biggest bang for our buck in our workouts, in our training. So, one part that I'm really big on is getting your strength workouts to be super efficient and in under 20 minutes. I prefer kettlebell workouts because of that. I think they deliver the quickest result. At the same time, there's some there's some cost to that in terms of like learning how to use kettlebells and getting up to speed. So I definitely work with you on that, but I just want to highlight that, jumping into kettlebell swings when you don't know how to do them could be tricky. But once you know exactly what you're doing, your workouts can be really fast. And that could be totally done with body weight training, could be done with bands, it could be done with dumbbells, it could be done with barbells. I just happen to prefer kettlebells. So it doesn't, so it's like whatever you like to do. So strength training is this really key component of our health, fitness, longevity, and performance. It's a foundational piece. So getting that into your day, if it's 20 minutes, should be possible, right? So that's kind of number one. And I do want to say that when it comes to strength training, there are countless studies that show that whatever age you start, you are still able to benefit in terms of building lean body mass, building muscle, building strength, improving your joint health, improving your metabolism, and just reaping benefits of strength training at any age. So whenever you start and however you start, you will benefit from starting strength training. So I'm here to talk about specifically strength training that takes you less than 20 minutes a day. Because it's very possible once you can use your body as a whole unit and as you're doing full body part split, so you're doing exercises that have the most bang for your buck in terms of recruiting your entire body and working out cohesively, right? So I'm talking about exercises like deadlifts, like squats, like kettlebell swings, like kettlebell clean and presses, overhead presses, pull-ups, push-ups. Those are the kinds of exercises that recruit your whole body and will end up getting you the most bang for your buck. So if you just walk away having done some squats and push-ups, you did pretty good that day. So that to me is how you optimize your strength training. You include your workouts using supersets, using whole body movements, and that should land you in a pretty good spot throughout the day and throughout the week, right? So in terms of strength training, that would be, so again, a 20-minute block. Now, if you're driving to the gym, and it takes you, 30 minutes to drive you to the gym and back, and then you're looking for, so that's an hour right there. So to me, if we're really busy and we really have no time, driving to the gym is quite a burden. And that's another reason why I think kettlebells are useful. Again, it could be dumbbells, it could be whatever you have at home. I happen to be a fitness equipment junkie, so I have a lot of fitness equipment at home in my garage. But at the same time, it's like whatever you have, we can work with that. And if it's body weight, we can work with that because there's plenty you can do with just your body weight. And so my suggestion is, if you're really having a hard time getting your fitness workouts in, your strength training workouts in, and you're finding yourself having to go to the gym, that will likely set you back. So it's kind of like, what what am I willing to spend my time on? And I suggest something simple at home over something complicated at the gym, because the gym has a lot of equipment, but it also has, it probably has a smoothie bar, and it has, like things that will distract you ultimately from what you actually need. And what you actually need is 20 minutes spent probably 2 to 3 times a week will give you the benefits of strength training foundation for the rest of your lifestyle. That's enough. And it's enough for most people. And I'm even talking about people who are participating in other sports. You need that baseline of strength training to support your other activities, your other endeavors. It will take you, it will improve your joint health. It will improve your muscle strength and muscle endurance, and it will help you with your alignment, postural alignment, and so on. 20 minutes a day of strength training. All right. And again, if you can help it not be positioned throughout the day with the driving to the gym and from the gym, it'll be just that much faster. So it's not going to take as much time, obviously. The other component that I think is actually super important for us to be able to do the 20-minute a day workouts is a good warm-up. So the warm-up to me kind of could be several things. And I'm speaking as someone who in my 20s, when I would get out of bed, I would be so stiff, I could barely bend down to wash my face in the sink. Like I couldn't bend my back. I was extremely stiff, and I would just kind of like hobble out of bed and into the bathroom. And this is actually a pretty sad sight. So this is where I was not doing any sort of warm up, and I was going straight for the 2-hour gym sessions, and they were just like making me stiff, and they were making me much worse off in terms of how my body felt and how my body performed. So that's where I discovered doing a quick warm up to literally like get my joints prepared for the day is what paid off for me the most. And once I did the warm up, I was able to then pick up my strength training routine at any time. So it didn't actually require the warm up then. So my concept here is that you're breaking up your day into 15-20 minute chunks whenever you can fit it in. And then so it's literally like I have 15 minutes in the morning, I have 20 minutes at lunch, and I have another 15 minutes later in the day. Like this is where you can truly break up all of the components that you need to get done. And I think it will be really effective if you have that morning warm up done already. Like you're not going to say, I'm too stiff to get into my kettlebell swings right now. I need to warm up. You're already ready to go. So that's the idea behind that warm up. And my warm up involves joint rotations as the beginning, because joint rotations actually mechanically make your joints greased with synovial fluid. So it's quite literally, if you're moving your joints, synovial fluid is released to lubricate the joints. That's how they work. So including joint rotations as part of the warm-up will actually do really well to grease your joints. And so your joints will be ready for other things throughout the day. So number one part of my warm-up is joint rotations. The other part could be any sort of dynamic alignment, mobility, or stability drills that you need to do that day. So it could be that you are going to physical therapy and you have some exercises that they gave you for your shoulder or for your knee or whatever. That would be a great spot to fit those exercises in. So don't treat those exercises as a workout. Treat them as part of the warm-up to increase your mobility or stability, whatever it is you're working on, and kind of set yourself up for the day. So usually those physical therapy exercises are meant to prime your muscles and your joints for other things. Again, that's what the warm-up is there for. So when I think warm-up, I'm not thinking about going for a jog. Like it's not a cardiovascular warm-up. And the reason is your cardiovascular system will get warmed up and you will get sweaty when you start working out or whatever. What I'm talking about is that we are focusing on priming our joints with joint rotations. We're focusing on priming our muscles with mobility and stability drills. And we're focusing on our posture and being able to access dynamic alignment of our bones so that our muscles can then perform at their best whenever we require them to work. So this is a really key part of my day because I think of that, and it's literally a 15-minute routine. And you will develop your own. I also have one that I can share with you. It's a 15-minute routine that will set you up for anything else you want to do that day. So if you have a chronically stiff back, if you have knee issues, if you have a little shoulder pinch, this is when you work on those aspects. This is when you set yourself up for success throughout the day. So for those of you who are already participating in sports, this could be the warm-up to get you ready for the sport that could be in the evening, right? Because you've already worked on your mobility, you've worked on your, again, your joint mobility, your muscle activation. That could be all done in this 15-minute chunk of time. And I think this is a really important piece to get us ready for, okay, I have 20 minutes now to do my strength training routine. And that means that I can then access it at any time. And that doesn't mean that before I start strength training, I need to do my warm-up, which already takes me to 45 minutes, right? Like you're actually ready to go. And this is how I suggest we break up the day. We put in the time, 15-minute warm-up at first, because it should be so easy. It should feel really good. It should not be taking you out of your comfort zone first thing in the morning. So this is where I see a lot of morning routines that involve like burpees or involve sun salutations. That's something that didn't work for me from yoga sun salutations, right? That requires a lot of deep bending that my back was not ready for. This is where I discovered joint rotations to set me up to do whatever it is that I want to do later on. So really, really feel strongly about the warm-up being a great way to set yourself up for then doing something quick, strength training, even going for a run, you're ready. Your ankles are warmed up to go for a run later that day. All right, and then another component, this is where like, where does cardiovascular fitness fit in here? There are many studies that show that actually what pays off for both cardiovascular health, longevity, and fat loss is walking for long periods of time. So a long walk takes you a lot further than you trying to get a jog in. Not saying that jogging is bad, but I'm saying that if you particularly hate running, jogging, etc., actually walking will give you a great result on its own. So kind of like thinking that you need to start running. A lot of people I talk with are always saying, yeah, running hurts my knees, but I need to start running to get back in shape or whatever. That kind of sentiment, I want you to kind of feel confident letting go of the fact that you should start running or jogging. Getting your walk in is enough. It's something that is hard to accept when we are constantly bombarded with people who are saying you need to be really intense and you need to go all out and you need to go run every day and things like that. Like, you can definitely do that if that's fun for you. I put in my time running back in the day. I ran track in high school and college on a club team. So like, I'm never running again. Like, I'm not going out for a jog ever again. No, never. I put in my time, I'm done. And I'm confidently saying that there's a ton of research that supports this, then simply walking will support your longevity goals, will support your cardiovascular health goals, and support your fat loss goals. Of course, like if you're training for a marathon, like, yeah, you need to run. Like, don't conflate the two. We're talking about overall health and also like participating in sports. If you're, say, participating in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you need to get in shape for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, rolling in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is what's going to get you in shape. It's not going to be the runs that you go on. It could be a good foundation, but it's not a make it or break it. It's actually setting yourself up for success in the sport. You're going to do more of that, right? So obviously, if you're preparing for a long distance run and you're going to have a race at the end of the month, like of course you need to run. So, but I'm talking for the people who are like, what do I need to do to get fit and have time throughout the day? If you have time, go out for a walk. And that could be a 20-minute walk. So again, I'm talking about these breaking up your day into 20-minute chunks. So we already covered strength training. We already covered a warm up. Now there's walking. So if you can get a 20-minute walk in a day, you're going to be happy with the results, and you will notice the results. It's actually, first of all, great stress reliever. It's a way to take in some outside time. How often do we go outside anymore? So it's a great way to get literally some sunshine for yourself. And then you'll also see some, consistently walking daily, you will see body composition improvements. So definitely get that walk in for many, many reasons. And then if you can, getting a longer walk in the weekend, for example, like going for an hour-long walk, maybe a hike, you're all set. Like this is a great way to get yourself set up for anything you want to do. So getting those walks in will get your blood moving, will also get your lymph nodes working, like your lymphatic system working. And you will also benefit from just kind of being outside in nature if you can help it. If the weather permits, go outside and get that sunshine and get a walk and look around, relax your eyes from staring at the screen all day. That's another reason to go for a walk. So there's quite a lot of benefits. And it's another time also to kind of work on your postural alignment, because you can find that ease of motion as you're walking. So you can find that easy neck feeling. You can find, where does my head fit over my body and how can I make it feel smooth and easy while you're walking. So it's just, to me, that's a fun thing to focus on as I walk along. Because, what else do you think about? So I think about my spinal alignment. Maybe not everybody thinks about their spinal alignment, but it certainly helps me kind of work out the little kinks and injuries and hurts and aches in my back, in my knees, and so on. I always find that after I go for a walk, I come back better, whether it's my joints don't hurt as much, or maybe like mentally I had a refresher. So there's like a ton of reasons to go for a walk throughout the day. Highly recommend, even if it's 20 minutes, even if it's around a block, even if you're pushing a stroller, especially if you're pushing a stroller. So that's a great way to get your baby to sleep sometimes, is going for a walk, right? So just leaving the house, going for a walk will pay off. All right, and then the final component, I have struggled with this for a very long time. And that is breathing and relaxation exercises. So like, this is actually where I also will include stretching. So if you are going to do static stretching, I recommend doing it at the end of the day. And I recommend including your breathing exercises with the stretching. So stretching is not a good warm-up because it doesn't set up your joints to be active. Stretching, static stretching, so like holding a stretch for more than 30 seconds, is great for certain reasons. For some things, I don't stretch much. I'm not a big fan, but at the same time, it has some benefits, but they are those cherry on top benefits. So everything I've talked about so far is going to be that bang for your buck. Get your fitness levels, get your exercise in, see the benefits. For stretching, that's cherry on top stuff. So if you have time, get the stretching in and try it in the evening, because your joints are already warmed up and your muscles are already primed. You've already done everything that you need to do. So stretching is fine in the evening. Okay, now if you have 15-20 minutes to lay down and do some breathing exercises, some relaxation drills, that's amazing. The truth is, if you are a busy adult with a family, with a job, with other interests and activities, you're probably not going to have the time. And it's like the thing that will get left off because you're always energized in the morning. I'm going to get stuff done. And then in the evening, the breathing exercises are going to feel a bit daunting. I'm speaking from my own experience. Like I will likely drop that any sort of breathing, relaxation, stretching stuff, unless I like super prioritize it throughout the day. But it is to me a bit of a mental load. But at the same time, it's so important. Like focusing on your breathing, especially if you're stressed and you're kind of constantly clenched, tense, and holding your breath all day, and then coming home and taking a few minutes to breathe is amazing. And it's going to help you so much with your mental health and with your stress levels. 1,000%. So how do we get it into the day when we're super busy? So what I've found is something that's kind of sneaky, but it's been working for me. And that is when I go to bed. So when I go to bed after my baby falls asleep and I have a few more things to do, like that's when I get to shower, is when my baby is asleep. So what I do is she falls asleep, I go shower, I get in bed, and I actually put a pillow underneath my butt that kind of helps the lymph again flow better throughout my body because I've been on my feet all day. So getting a pillow underneath your butt is a great one to help. Just it helps you relax and it helps you be in this kind of more open position for breathing. And so I get a pillow underneath my butt. I'm already in bed, pillow under my butt, and that's when I do my deep breathing exercises. And it sort of primes me for better sleep. And it also helps me. I'm already in bed. And like if I fall asleep, great. Like that's a great benefit. So that's how I sneak in my breathing and relaxation exercises right before bed, actually in bed, like when I'm trying to fall asleep. But of course, like you can also do, if there's a longer routine that you want to be doing, there's maybe a yoga routine that you want to try. That's when you would do it. I suggest doing it before bed to set you up for a nice relaxing sleep. And of course, we know sleep is super important to keep coming back and improving our fitness goals. So to recap, morning warm-up, 15 minutes, includes joint rotations, mobility, stability drills for muscle activation and not stretching. Then we fit in a strength training workout that it's about 20 minutes and it uses full body exercises, has supersets that help you get to all the exercises fairly fast, and has that bang for your buck effect that helps you with building muscle, getting stronger, setting yourself up for success in your sports, and of course, longevity. Then another 20 minutes, a quick walk outside if you can help it, and then maybe a longer walk at the end of the week when you have more time. And then breathing or relaxation exercises that I literally do when I'm about to go to sleep in bed. So I don't even consider that like as a chunk that I need to set time for. That's the only way I actually can get those in, and so that's just an idea for you to try. And then if you're worried about when you're going to get your other cardio and intense exercises in, a sweaty workout once a week is a great idea as like another cherry on top. But I suggest let's focus on those 4. Again, warm up, strength, walk, and then breathing relaxation at the end of the day, maybe even in bed, will take you really far. And then we can start building on top of those. That's when we start adding in. So once you get consistent with those 4 and you're feeling good and you feel like you're not overwhelmed and you're getting things in, you're getting things done, then let's add more. So let me know how it goes.